everyone, and welcome back again to the 80s Movie Den. So for this episode, we're going to go through some pretty awesome sports cards from the 80s and into the early 90s. My last episode of sports cards, I highlighted my baseball collection. For this one, we're going to go into the world of the NHL and highlight some cards from my childhood. Cards that I collected when I was younger, and obviously that I've recollected now. Pro Set was a great brand, and I loved collecting Pro Set. I just loved the way the Pro Set cards looked. That's what I loved about collecting cards back in the day too, because you could collect the same hockey player, but if you collected an OPC version of them, or a Topps version of them, or a Upper Deck version of them, or a Pro Set version of them, they were all different because the style and design of the cards were different. And so that's what made them fun. But yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and we'll peek at a few of them. We won't go through very many. I'm gonna spread this out over, multiple videos. I don't want to bore you by going through, 100 cards, but we'll just grab a nice handful and we'll go through them and, leave some comments down below. If you see a player that you recognize, or, if he's one of your favorites, leave it in the comments. Let me know what you think. All right, let's go ahead and let's take a look. All right, folks. So there's one of my boxes of hockey cards. There is probably close to 1,500 cards there. This is from my top players and favorite cards box. I have them categorized, and there's a nice mishmash there. I got them labeled there, as you can see, random singles and brands, and then I've got some older stuff and some newer stuff too. Some Upper Deck MVP cards from 24-25, obviously, so it's very new, very recent. And then I've got some stuff going back as far as the mid-70s. But since I had mentioned Pro Set, let's look at some of my Pro Set cards from 91-92. I'm just gonna set this camera up here, and then we will grab a small handful, not too many. And let me get that set up, and hopefully it's clear enough. Again, this is a new format for me, so there we go. We'll just grab a small handful and then we'll go through them. Let me know in the comments what you think. All right, here we go. We have, for our Canadian hockey fans here, we have Wendell Clark. So you just love the Pro Set look. I love the way it was set up. There's the back. Captain of the Toronto Maple Leafs, Wendell Clark. And then we have, of course, one of the legends, Mario Lemieux, hoisting the Stanley Cup, and deservedly so, and winning the Conn Smythe Trophy as the playoffs MVP. One of the greatest hockey players, naturally gifted talents ever. It was too bad that his health betrayed him. His cancer diagnosis, his chronic back pain. I honestly think that if he would have had a 20-year career and played straight through uninjured, he may have been the greatest of all time. But that's open for debate, so leave your comments down below. And that would be a debate with this guy here, the great one, Wayne Gretzky. So, there may be some hints here as to some of my top 10 most influential athletes of the 1980s. Not giving anything away. Hint, hint. Art Ross Trophy, Lady Byng Memorial Trophy. And then we have some more Mario Lemieux. Again, I've got multiples of the same player. If I like the player, he was going into a penny sleeve and a top loader. So as you can see here, we've got a little bit of a Gretzky and Mario Lemieux show going here. This is Wayne Gretzky playing in the All-Star game for the Campbell Conference. And then we have another legendary Canadian player here, Patrick Waugh. What a fantastic goaltender. A little hot under the collar at times, but very passionate guy. He coaches, he's currently coaching my second favorite NHL team, the New York Islanders. The New York Islanders just picked up their #1 draft pick. And so looking forward to seeing him perform. Matthew Schaefer. Here's another Patrick Roy classic here, the Gazette, which is a French sports paper, I believe. And some more Patrick Roy. So yeah. Again, awesome. You know, different action shots of the players. Like I said, the pro set, Pat LaFontaine from my second favorite team. Pat LaFontaine was extremely talented, played with the Buffalo Sabres as well. And then we have Mark Messier, who was an absolute warrior, a tank, a beast, and a ferocious competitor. He went to the New York Rangers, I believe, in 1993. He got traded from Edmonton and led the Rangers to their first Stanley Cup in, I think it was 50 years or something like that. And there's another Messier there. Yep. Campbell Conference, All-Star Game. And there's more Messier. Some Mark Messier stuff here, for sure. And then we have Joe Nieuwendyk, who is a fantastic player. Hall of Fame career, played with the Calgary Flames. I'm not sure if he played with anyone else, but Steve Yzerman, another legendary Detroit Red Wing. I think he was working in the Tampa Bay office, and I believe he's back in Detroit, helping to reestablish the Red Wings. There's Joe Sakic, another Canadian legend. Joe Sakic from the Quebec Nordiques, so we're going back, right? And then Quebec moved to Colorado, and of course Joe Sakic led the Avalanche to a Stanley Cup. Billy Ranford, tremendous goalie for the Edmonton Oilers, underrated in my opinion. Edmonton had a long line of great goaltenders. They had Grant Fuhr, Andy Moog, and then Billy Ranford helped them win the Stanley Cup in 1990, I believe. Trevor Linden, captain of the Vancouver Canucks, another Hall of Fame career. We have Grant Fuhr, very dynamic goalie. Loved watching him play as a kid. The glove saves that he would make, he was very flashy. Awesome goaltender, very athletic. And there he is again when he played with the Toronto Maple Leafs. He had a couple years with the Leafs. I was so happy when he came over to Toronto to play. You know, unfortunately, it was near the tail end of his career, and the Toronto Maple Leafs franchise wasn't very competitive at this point. They didn't make their big blockbuster trade yet at this point with Calgary. But yeah, that was a great pickup. Huge fan of Grant Fuhr. And then we'll stop right here, and this is Mario Lemieux. So. All right, folks, so that's it. We'll keep it short and sweet so that you don't fall asleep. Some pretty awesome cards. Again, you got to love the Pro Set setup. You know, pretty amazing cards. Fun design. I've got some OPGs in there. I've got some upper decks as well. And, you know, we'll go through those down the road. But for right now, that'll be it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments what you think of these card collection videos, and if you want to see more of them. This has been the 80s Movie Den, and as always, we'll catch you on the next one.